Hi everyone, I'm happy to be back. Today we're going to be talking about how to improve your application in order to get into a prestigious accelerator program. If you haven't already checked it out, check out part 1 of this video where I'm talking about how to find an accelerator program that fits your needs and why you should consider joining a program yourself. So let's get into it. One of the biggest mistakes that I see founders make when they're applying to an accelerator program is that they give minimal answers and don't treat the application process like a pitch. So when you get asked questions and you have to fill out a form, make sure that whoever reads that form actually truly understands what it is that you're doing. Don't just give yes or no answers. Be specific. Think about it this way. Whoever is going to read your application has probably read already 50 applications that day and has another 50 to get through. So yours has to stand out. Do not treat that like a boring form at the DMV where you're just filling out whatever questions they're asking you. You have to make sure that it's optimized for whoever reads it to actually want to read it further. And this one I cannot stress enough. Authenticity always wins. The best investors out there will tell you they invest in a founder and not in a company. So your job is to convince that accelerator program why they should take a bet on you. And only on second place, you want to convince them why they should also take a bet on your startup. Make sure to have metrics that will highlight that what you're building is truly needed. Now, let's say you're in a spot that a lot of early stage founders find themselves in. They need capital to actually build what they're trying to achieve. And they're struggling with how do I show that this is actually something valuable that could give investors a return, a 10x, 15x return. How do you prove the hypothesis that you have for your startup if you don't yet have the capital to build out the product? Number one, if that's you, you need to find a program that will accept you pre-revenue. So make sure before you apply to any of them that you find one that actually fits the stage that you're in right now. If you don't have the money yet to build the product, show traction in other ways. For example, do you have a wait list where thousands of people have signed up because they're so excited about what it is that you're trying to build? That is a really good metric to show to investors and to accelerator programs. One of my favorite ones that I've recently seen get a lot of traction is founders that actually document their journey on social media. Having a large social media platform of a community that is truly rooting for you and waiting for you to launch whatever it is that you want to launch, that is a great signal to investors and to accelerator programs that the market is waiting for you to launch what it is that you're building. And interestingly, in a lot of tech spaces, social media is still completely overlooked, which is why my team and I actually started hosting workshops about how to utilize social media as a founder, not just for yourself as the founder of the company and to showcase who you are to potential customers, potential investors, potential partners, but also for your startup. The days are over where founders were able to just raise hundreds of thousands of dollars at the initial stage just to throw the money at Facebook ads and Google ads. That's not where we're at right now. Learning to storytell and learning how to get customers without having to spend marketing dollars, that is a skill. So we've actually just recently been hired by a bunch of accelerator programs to host workshops about how to utilize social media. I myself used social media for my first startup to scale it into 38 different countries. So there is incredible opportunity there. And it's another metric that you can use in case you don't have other numbers that you feel good about. If you already have investors, who are those investors? If those are really prominent investors that people have a lot of respect for, then I would highlight that. Don't just have that somewhere buried in your pitch deck. Make sure that's front and center and make sure it's part of your storytelling. So people are aware that others in the industry already took a bet on you and were willing to write you a check. That is something that I want you to highlight in your application. Be very, very clear on your vision and on your mission. I feel like a lot of times founders just think it's 2 different slides on a pitch deck, but the truth is that a lot of programs will have you create a video for your application. And too many founders talk about what it is that they want to build and completely forget about why they actually want to build it. You need to make sure that whoever watches it buys into the idea. You're selling the dream. Your job as the founder of the startup is to sell to people the vision that you have for that company. And you have to be able to dream big. You have to be able to be so delusional that you actually believe that this company could one day get acquired for millions and millions of dollars. If you don't believe that about yourself, how do you expect strangers to believe in you? So make sure that when you record that video, people feel that passion, that energy, those values, and they understand the mission that you're on. If you know someone who has gone through that program, talk to them, ask them for advice, ask them for feedback. And oftentimes in the application form, you will see a question that asks, how did you hear about us? Put them as a reference in there. Chances are, if they're considering inviting you into the cohort, they might pick up the phone and call whoever referred you to and ask them about you. So put references in there, especially those that you believe will mention your name in a room filled with opportunities. those are the people that you want to put on your application. And as someone who leads a lot of the programs for various accelerator programs, one of my favorite things to see when I look at applications is when founders truly explain what they want to get out of that accelerator. So instead of framing it as, this is where I'm at and I'm just applying, frame it as, this is where I'm at. And this is how I believe that you could add value to my startup. And this is why I believe that we're so aligned that I would love to join your ecosystem of founders, because I believe with your support, I could reach the next level of success. Don't make it cookie cutter. Let them know why you believe that they are the right program for you. And last but not least, please have social media. I know I mentioned social media earlier already, but make sure that you have social media. If people want to look you up on LinkedIn, you need to have a LinkedIn. If people put your name on Instagram, there should be an Instagram, or at least of your startup. Make sure that there is some up-to-date posts on there. No, you don't have to become an influencer. But if people are trying to understand who is the brand beyond the pitch deck, how does the brand communicate with its customers? One of the best and easiest and free ways to do that is social media. So make sure that your social media accounts are cleaned up, they're up to date, and that you engage with your customers, because it will show potential investors and it will show potential startup accelerator programs the way that you show up for your customers. And that is crucial for the success of a startup. I hope those tips and tricks help. We help founders every day get into some of the best accelerator programs in the world. And we also work behind the scenes with a lot of these programs ourselves. We host workshops, we host dinner parties, we partner with accelerator programs all of the time in order to get as many founders funded as humanly possible and help them all scale and shape the future. So if you need help with that, go to our website, foundersregistry.com, and reach out to us. Most importantly, if you have questions, leave them in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. And I hope to see you again for our next video.